Hello, my beautiful buds. Welcome back to my channel, Sprouts with Joy. My name is Joy, and if you like to talk about plants, you're in the right place. I have so many just plant chores and so many plant related things to get done. Like, I'm so behind, it's just not even funny. So I'm just gonna do whatever I can get done today. I've determined it's Sunday afternoon and we're just gonna do it. So the first things first, let me show you. It's all right, my house is kind of cluttered right now. There's my vacuum and it's fine. I'm not even gonna apologize. I have a toddler and an infant. So as you can see, this is my philodendron Florida ghost. It is very tall. It's stretching up to the grow light, and it's even like casting a shadow on the rest of the plant. So it's honestly basically hoarding the grow light right now, it feels like. And it also is kind of burned. That leaf unfurled while I was on vacation, and it just got way too close to that grow light. And this grow light is really powerful, so I am like not at all surprised that it got burned, but that means that I need to chop it up. I don't think that I'll chop up the entire plant, but I'll take a few cuttings just to trim it down and get it under control. And I'll have to address, I don't know what my long-term plans are with this plant, because I do have several propagations already like going. Like this, for example, I propagated from my Florida ghost, and I mean, it's already basically its own little plant, so I don't know. But anyways, so that's what we're gonna start off doing, and then after that maybe I'll repot some plants, but we will figure out what we have time to do. All right, this thing is so tall, like it's not even fully in the camera, but we're just diving in and doing it. No hesitations. Here's the first cut, and yeah, there's like a better look at how it got burned, and you know, it's looking a little bit damaged because of how hot and bright that light was. I mean, obviously I'm gonna keep this cut because it's gonna do just fine in the long run, I think. It has this new caterpillar going. It's got the extra floral nectaries going, so it's very sticky. I don't know if you can see that, but yes. I'm not entirely sure how far down I want to cut this. Now, interestingly enough, I took cuttings off of this portion of the plant, and it never did put out new leaves. It started this growth point right here. I don't know how well you can see that. It did start this growth point, but it never actually became anything. So I think I might also just chop that real quick and see if I chop it all the way down if it will do something. So here's that with that growth point. I wonder if it's just because like this leaf never turned green, you know? Okay, there's that. This plant is looking a little bit barren now compared to what it was, but I've got so many cuttings and things that eventually, if I want to make this a full pot again, I can certainly do that. It's just gonna look less fabulous for just a little while, but it's out of necessity. So I'm gonna actually start by just adding a bit of moss to the top of this plant, because I found that a lot of my plants really enjoy that, like especially if the top of the plant is a little bit more barren or is missing some leaves and has some nodes that could benefit from growing roots down into the soil. I don't know, I've just found that it encourages that root growth, and the plant seems to really like it. So I'm just gonna do that for funsies and see what happens. And then over here, let's address these cuttings. Actually, I might chop away a little bit more of this just to make room. But I'm taking care to not chop away where the growth point is, or the auxiliary bud, or whatever you want to call it, just because like that's where new growth can come from. I don't know how well you can even see that. It's just like a little bump. And so I'm not going to chop that. They're gonna look a little bit funky because they're facing different directions, but they'll sort themselves out over time. You guys, I'm not gonna lie, life has been a little bit overwhelming lately. Like, it's been really, really good, but also very, very busy. So I've had a bit of a hard time keeping up with everything. If you haven't noticed, I feel like I've been uploading fewer videos. It's just taken so much longer for me to even edit my videos when it normally like wouldn't take that long. But it's just, there's a lot going on. Of course, we're busy because we have a toddler, but also like work has been busy. My husband has also been busy with his job. And so it's just like, I feel like it never ends between work and maintaining the house and hanging out with people and being involved in the community and taking care of our kids. And of course, like I want to engage with my hobbies, but I really love doing this. I do feel like that happens to me quite often where I feel like I talk about it quite often, that we have a lot going on and that sometimes I get overwhelmed, but it's okay. Okay, while we're here, hang on, let me throw these just extra stem pieces out. But while we're here and we're chopping things up, this is my Maranta Crotoviana, and it is absolutely beautiful in some ways. Like some of the leaves are beautiful, but then if you like look at it from this angle, it's very floppy, and I think I want to chop it up and kind of start the plant over, because like right here, this growth right here is pretty lackluster, but this growth is beautiful with gorgeous leaves and very happy. So I just want to start it over. Oh, hang on, my husband's calling me. Okay, so I just want to chop this up. I went ahead and got a jar of water and I'm just gonna chop away the parts that like look the nicest and only propagate those, I think. So, I mean, this obviously looks really nice, but I'll probably chop it down even further just so that it can be like a really nice and full plant. So let's see. Propagating Maranta is so interesting because you have to like find where the little knobs are, and I'm pretty sure that's where it roots from, are these like little knobs. But it's not quite, I mean, it's somewhat obvious, but not quite as obvious as like a philodendron node. So I think I'll just chop it like this. And I feel like this is awkward, but I'm just gonna chop it like that and hope for the best. I very frequently like get the urge to totally make over my plants when they get scraggly like this, or if they went through a rough period of time and so some of the leaves are looking less than ideal. Like when that happens, I don't know, sometimes I just get like antsy and I want to fix it and redo it, which I think is fun. All right, I think that might be the extent of like the really nice looking leaves, because the rest of these also don't look great. But this is like a nice start to a new plant, I think. Oh, I just love it. That's so satisfying to look at. Oh my gosh, beautiful. But yeah, the rest of this I'm just gonna toss because it doesn't look great. I know I could like chop it down and have it regrow from the roots, but I'm not feeling that right now. This is all going by. This is what I'm keeping of the plant. I need a fresh start, okay? I don't even know if I have like the right size pots for everything that I'm wanting to repot, but we're just gonna do what we can. The first thing I'm gonna do is pot these two Monstera Adansonii together, because why not? I want to consolidate my plants. This one's beautiful, but like definitely getting pretty scraggly, so maybe I'll also give it a bit of a haircut. All right, let's find a pot that works for these. I feel like this will probably work. I'm really not sure how well developed these root systems are. These were both propagations. Yeah, I really have no idea. I do have another Monstera Adansonii that I have hopefully climbing up a pole someday. It is not currently climbing the pole, but maybe one day it will actually begin doing that. But this will kind of be my trailing Monstera. Okay, we're making a mess. It's fine. A lot of these roots are not great. I think I have underwatered this plant a bit. Both of these probably have been fairly underwatered. It's not bad, but oh, this is gonna be such an awkward plant. Okay. Hello, Alphonse. Are you joining me today? And while we're here, I'm going to give this one a trim. Let's see, where's the last leaf that actually looks reasonable? I think right here. So, and over here, this leaf looks questionable. We're being ruthless today, guys. Does that look super awkward? I feel like it looks super awkward. Hang on. I mean, it's kind of okay. It's got character and maybe it will grow into itself. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm gonna put this plant because I don't think it's gonna fit where it used to be. I mean, it was two different plants that were smaller, but you know, it's probably fine. Hi. Next, I think I'm going to repot my Tenanthe setosa, which I feel like this plant has some big problems, but maybe it will be happier if I put it into some fresh soil. I have never ever repotted this plant, ever. As you can see, I'm actually using De La tanks right now. I'm running low on orchid bark, and I still have a bag of this lying around, so why not? It's a perfectly good soil mix, so I'm just gonna use it because I have it. But I do need to pick up more soil amendments for my own mix. This is quite a big upgrade, but it's the only pot that I have that's bigger than this, I think, that will work. So we're just rolling with it. And let's see. Yeah, let's see. I would say that is a fairly healthy root system. Look at the bottom of that right there. So I don't think I'm gonna totally bother this, but I'm gonna give it a bit more room. And it'll be a clear pot so I can keep a better eye on what's going on with the root system from here on out. I've got to say, this is really quite satisfying. I think I'm gonna trim off some of these leaves that are just flopping all over the place though, because my cats have swatted them and they just don't look great. Although this one is really huge, so I'm not gonna touch that. Okay. Are you gonna be happier now? Are you gonna behave? I don't know. This is a really good plant, but I don't see a lot of people having it. Okay, this next repotting situation is going to be incredibly similar to the last one, because I think these are the same exact pots. And I'm going to be upgrading this. I mean, again, this is a really big pot jump, but I kind of get away with it by just potting the plant a little bit more shallow, if that makes sense. I was definitely imagining this in a terracotta pot, but I think I'm gonna put it in this basket instead. Maybe make it a floor plant. I'm thinking long term, because this plant has been growing really, really quickly. Oh, by the way, this is the Sansevieria sayuri. I'll give you a closer look. As far as Sansevieria go, I really like this one. I don't always like snake plants, or I believe the technical term now is Dracaena trifasciata. But this one I do like, and I think it does a great job of breaking up the more traditional foliage that I have going on in my collection. And I have not completely decided where I want to put this one, but I will find a spot. I always do. Oh my goodness. This is like extremely stuck in here. I'm just afraid of like breaking all this new ground. I don't want to have too much force. Oh my goodness. I might end up needing to cut this open. Let's see. Okay, good. We've won. Okay. Wow, look at that. This is really satisfying, seeing the new growth popping up. It really would. Oh my gosh, look at that. I do have to say, I love the way that snake plants grow. It's very cool. Okay, this is taking forever. This is so much soil that needs to go in here. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. And then this is how it's gonna look in the basket. I can get it to fit. There we go. That's pretty cute. It's just like a little basket of grass. Okay, I have more things to do, but both of my kids are awake, and so I'm debating whether it's like worth it to try to do more. You like the kitty? Yeah. All right. I took a break. As you can see, I have a new shirt on because my baby spat up on my sweater. Very normal. So we're gonna keep trudging on. My husband is back home, thank God. He is addressing the fussy children so that I can finish doing this, which I have the best husband ever. I'm very grateful. Oh, I didn't even show you like what the heck I'm doing. Okay, so this next thing, this is my variegated Hoya compacta that I just got from Florida. This is my old variegated Hoya compacta, like what's left of it. I'm just gonna pot these two together and hope that it goes down well. So let me get you a better angle. I feel like I've made such an absolute mess in my home today. Ooh, those are some nice looking roots, especially for Hoya. I'm not gonna bother getting all of the moss off of that because that'd be a bit tricky. Well, this just in. So this is a casualty right here. My daughter is playing on the front porch, and it's like gated and everything, so she's safe and within eyesight of me. But I had this cactus out on the front porch, and she knocked it over, which she's never like touched the plants out there, but this is broken off, so that's really sad. Okay, can I just say there's like, I have so many plants in my collection. Like, I feel like there's been 5 plants in the last month that have been knocked over. Not even like by me. Specifically, 2 of them were knocked over by friends, another one by cat, and 2 now knocked over by my children. And like they've all resulted in like really not good things happening to the plants. Like new leaves breaking off, or like they were doing really well and then they're not doing well, or like the pot breaking, or like most of the plant dying. And I'm just, I'm really sad about it, you guys. It's been really discouraging, but let's just address this. I guess what I have to do is just cut off this ear off the opuntia, and then I have to fill in the rest of the pot where the soil spilled out, I guess, and I'll wait for this to callus and then pot it up separately, see if it'll take. I mean, it happens, especially if you're sharing your planty space with like other people and friends and cats and children. But that makes me like actually really, really sad. I know it will most likely grow back and be fine, I think. But I'm gonna have to let that callus over before I do anything with it. I'll probably address that later. That makes me feel so defeated. I haven't even like talked about the other plants that have been casualties this summer so far. It just makes me too sad to talk about. And it's one of the things in my collection that I'm just like, they're just unfortunate. So it's not fair, but we just are gonna have to deal with it. So I'm gonna take this back outside. I'm gonna set this aside and let it callus over. Maybe I'll like fill out a little pot for it in the meantime because it'll need to kind of propagate, I guess, and do its thing. Yeah, I'm preemptively filling up a pot for it of soil, but I'm just gonna set these aside, take this back out, and I'm so sad. It's fine, it's fine. Okay, well, let's return to the next thing I was actually going to do. This is actually quite happy. This is my philodendron gigas, and it's doing incredibly well on this little moss pole, but I'm gonna need to add more moss to it. So, like, look at how nicely these leaves have sized up. I'm honestly super impressed. So this is the newest leaf. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it has rooted into the pole, if you can see that. I'm so happy with how this has done. So I'm gonna just add some more moss and let it kind of continue doing its thing. Like, I'm gonna need to add a pole extension to this. My guess is by the end of the summer at the rate that it's been growing. I'd say that's adequate for now. There we go. Just enough for a couple more leaves. Okay, so speaking of moss poles, I think because my philodendron gigas has been doing so well, I think I'm going to pot up these philodendron splendid cuttings. I mean, I don't know how well rooted they are, but they both have like lots of new growth, so I'm thinking they're probably ready enough. But I'm gonna put them up another one of those moss poles because I found a lot of success. I think originally I was tentatively planning on using like a wood plank or something like that, but I don't know. I think I want to do another pole. And this is an adorable little cash po from World Market that I just got the other day. It was on sale and I love it, so I think I want to try to use that. And I know that this does not fit perfectly, like it's a little bit tall, but I think it'll all kind of blend in and it's clear. I'm not too worried about that. Soil. I think for this one, instead of using daylight tanks, I think I want to use my own soil mix, just because I feel like my philodendron have been really enjoying it, like my philodendron and anthurium in particular. So we're gonna start with that. Layer that, and then but then the rest is gonna be pretty much moss. Let's see. Oh yeah, the roots kind of blended in there, but they're in there. But honestly, I'm not even gonna bother like removing all the moss because it's just gonna be kind of all in the moss pole. But right now I'm just trying to figure out what direction would be best. I think this way is most natural. Just like that. And then if I were to add the other plant, here, I don't even know how well you can see that. If I were to add the other plant, let's see how this one's looking. I'm trying to coax you out of here. Okay. All right, this one's like not quite as well rooted. Oh, actually, this was a little wet stick that started. So maybe I should keep that separate. Yeah, I think this way is the way to go. It's gonna be like kind of a full pole right here. And then, yeah, I'm gonna put this wet stick back. So that's what we have so far. But what I need to do is kind of fill in the rest with moss and with soil around here. So first I'll fill in some soil, I think. This is not the best way to do this. But yeah, I keep on getting a little bit interrupted, but I'm trying to remember what my train of thought was. My planting journey has been like a little bit discouraging lately, mostly because of those things that I had mentioned. Just some of my plants outside of my control. Most of my plants are fine, but it is a little bit discouraging when multiple plants of mine are just not doing as well as I want them to be doing. Especially when they were like doing really well before, and now they're just not, if that makes sense. Okay. I don't know how well that's going to hold. I feel like that's too tight. But let's see. I think I'm gonna add some more moss. There we go. Another thing I've been thinking a lot about is that I want to like build a little terrarium, like nothing crazy, but it's been like on my list of things to do. So if you guys have any suggestions as to like which plants I should add to a terrarium, please do let me know, because I am really excited about it. I have the vessel that I'm going to use and everything. I kind of want to like go out and buy the plants and kind of make it a whole video. I generally have everything I need, I think, for the actual setup, but yeah, I don't know. Well, I think that's pretty cute. That'll do for now. I definitely am gonna need to water this in. It's a little bit top heavy, but thankfully, I think that's actually so cute. Oh my goodness. All right, and then I think there's just one more thing that I was planning on doing. So this is my little philodendron camposportuanum, which is absolutely adorable and already like so long. I think I'm just gonna have it on a bamboo stake for now, see how it does. And if I feel like putting it on a moss pole down the line, I definitely will. There are so many roots on here, but they're like so fine. All right, I didn't try super hard, just kind of whatever fell apart naturally. I think that will be adequate for our purposes. I'm gonna get some plant Velcro. Okay, I think the stake is like a little bit crooked, but this will do for now. I think it's pretty cute. Well, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I feel like we honestly got quite a lot done, although of course we were mainly just like at this table, but I hope that you enjoyed it regardless. If you like this sort of content, if you like planting videos, plant chores, anything related to that sort of thing, feel free to subscribe if you want to, and I hope to see you down in the comments, and yeah, I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye!